What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play a Destiny. In the last episode, we confronted Clovis after learning from Rasputin himself that Clovis's intentions weren't so pure as we kind of suspected from the get-go. But, he was up to something bad, and so Anna put a stop to it and overwrote his protocol in the frame with Rasputin. So now Rasputin houses the frame, not Clovis. Clovis is back on Europa. If we have to interact with him again, we have to go back there. But in the meantime, let's talk to Rasputin and get the next portion of More Than a Weapon started. But real quick, you see right here, so I talked about this before. This is the Should You Choose to Accept It, Part 1. You'll get each of these every single week from here on out, and these are how you basically get all of the catalysts for the Revision 0 pulse rifle. I'm not going to be doing any of these. Like I said, it's just too lengthy, too complicated, and not something that's worth trying to get done before the season is over in 2 days. So let's just continue with this. Rasputin has informed me that key elements of his code remain missing or incomplete. Without them, he cannot take control of the warsats. In order to continue his restoration process, he needs you to continue reintegrating submine data into the engram and deliver it to him in the helm. We must stay the course, he summarizes. Despite the lack of additional submine cores, Rasputin is confident the warsats will soon belong to humanity once again. I also have some more infiltrator gear unlocked. So I'm actually going to get actually extreme ordnance just is better, but I'm going to go with security clearance just because it's going to make things a little bit more simple for me in the time being, and continue to hope that I can eventually get fire and forget to drop for me so that I can turn in all of these umbral engrams. But first things first, we got to look to the holo projector once more.
The war mind speaks. His archives are incomplete, as is his memory. There's a figment seated in that recollecting mind where my visions might find purchase. The pieces are scattered on the floor before me. I see them like points of starlight. They form a constellation, but my eye cannot yet draw the lines. Nephele Stronghold is a term that appears multiple times throughout the submine's caches. Each time I read it, I hear it whispered in Savathun's voice. Anna recognizes the term Nephele, transcribed from a temporal disturbance on Mars. Recognition was all she had to offer. But Rasputin must know. Asking the right question could unlock everything. I need time to submit my inquiries to Rasputin, to find convincing proof for Ikora. Time we do not have. Zivor Roth's assault on the Warmind's network is no coincidence. She is far more tactician than brute. I underestimated her once. I won't be afforded another mistake. Our next move must be certain.
Okay, so there we go. Nephilis Stronghold. Something about that is interesting. So I need to unlock another Seraph chest, obviously. I will be back once that is done. Give me just a moment. And we're back, and guess what I got? Exactly, fire and forget, although this one has a really crap roll, so I'm just going to immediately delete it. But hey, now I can go and turn in all of these umbral engrams, and maybe we'll actually get something good out of all this, so let's give it a shot. I'm going to try a few go-arounds if it doesn't kick me back to the main menu every freaking time. Oh, just give me Tripwire Canary every time, too. I suppose that's also okay. Come on, there's something actually decent. Take Disparities, too. Why not? Retrofit Escapade. Okay. Pretty good. And that leaves us with exactly 1 engram left and only 5 Seraphic Umbral Energy short. Let's see if I got anything good out of all of these. Heating Up Headstone isn't too bad. Eye of the Storm Swashbuckler can absolutely go. That's probably the best Tripwire Canary roll I could have possibly gotten. I guess I will keep that on principle just because everything else was so bad. Stats for all Vorpal Weapon, no. Killing Wind Demolitionist is a good roll on a lot of things, but not linear fusion rifles. And, wow, that was profoundly disappointing. Okay, with all of that in mind, let's go to the holo projector.
Guardian, I worry for Anna. She is more like Clovis than she would like to admit. Obsessed with doing what she's decided is right, a compulsion to achieve her goal no matter the cost. I've seen where that path can lead. I don't want that for her. I don't want to have to stop her. If there's one constant in all the possible futures I've seen, it's fear. And I'm tired of being afraid. Afraid to live, afraid to lose, afraid to trust. And yet, I came to place my trust in you on Europa. Perhaps it's time I did the same with Anna. She deserves it. At least in that respect, she's nothing like Clovis at all.
Well, that was a little bit of a nice anecdote. Anyways, now we need to go talk to Rasputin once again. Is this really all there is to it with this week? Because that's pretty simple.
With each cache of submine data, an increased percentage of my code is restored. I become more myself. No, that is inaccurate. My submines were left to evolve on their own trajectories. Reintegrating them has altered my own personality matrix. Through them, I see how humanity once looked to me as a savior, an entity capable of protecting them and destroying their enemies. In many ways, I am a war god of their own making. Perhaps I am not unlike Zivu in that regard. The difference between us is that I do not wage war for its own sake. I safeguard those in my charge. Continue retrieving and reintegrating the submine data. I will contact you once the next phase of restoration can begin. If I am to be humanity's war god, then I will smite those who threaten it. Zivu Arath, the Wrathborn, and all who follow.
I like the confidence, Rasputin. Thank you very much. Okay, we also get should you choose to accept it part 2 that comes with it, and I am going to put that away before we listen to the radio transmission. We'll come back to it though, because given the nature of how short this was, I guess we can actually do the next part in this very same episode.
Each Vex hobgoblin like a starship. The crew works together to pilot it, but it doesn't mean the crew all share one mind.
Or the same ideals. This aligns with observations I've made in the Infinite Forest, where aberrant Vex were quarantined and destroyed. Aberrant in that they moved against a consensus. Aberrant in ideology. The Vex may seem unified, but they're divided into a number of factions.
Just like us.
Tell me, as someone who has traveled time in a circle, are our divisions so clear in every cycle of history?
No. Nothing is ever clear, no matter how many times history repeats itself. Choice is always the knife we fall on. Our own choices, each and every time, seem to be what dooms us.
Always?
Not always, but too often. We fracture, we fail, and the wheel turns again.
We, constrained to linear time, do not have the ability to learn from our future mistakes. You, however, not to put the burden of all this on you, but it feels as though the Traveler has a plan for you. You just can't see it yet.
It could make the plan a little clearer.
Do you feel you've learned enough? Collectively over your journey to prevent our end? Or will we be having this conversation again someday?
I don't know. We've never had this conversation before, so I suppose there's a first time for everything.
All right, well, let's just jump right on into it then. I'm just going to run right back to the exoframe and see what they have to say on the matter.
Efforts to acquire the submine data have been proving effective. My reconstruction continues apace. This is not the first time the Hive have sought to steal my weaponry. I froze an entire brood on Mars to stop their last attempt. Despite their persistence, they have never once succeeded. In no small part thanks to the Vanguard. This time will prove no different. My diagnostics indicate that we nearly have enough data to complete the repair cycle. Once the warsats are under our control, I will lay waste to the Wrathborn. If they so desire to witness the power of a war mine, Then I will gladly oblige.
Okay, let's accept that. It looks like I can now get Extreme Ordnance, the final of the Infiltrator gear. Might as well take that. Hey, we got another Fire and Forget. Oh, you know what? That one's actually not so bad. I'll take Focus Fury. That is actually not too hard to get procced on a 3 burst. So that's pretty good. Okay, I've got a few Exaframe modules I could turn in. Let's see here. Get another Deep Sight Resonance, possibly. Let's see. High stat, that would be okay, but no, thank you. Seraphic Umbral Energy, Seraphic Umbral. I guess defeating the Death Tongue Choristers would be kind of nice. And then just defeating combatants has a chance to reward Seraph key codes. Sure, why not? Okay, so with all that done, I need to go get more Seraph key codes, and then I believe I just need to unlock another Seraph chest, and then we're going to be right back where we started once again. So yet another cut in this episode. See you all in a moment. And back to the helm we go. All right, really quickly, I'm going to change some gear around here really fast that I'm probably not going to end up using again. Yeah, I'll get rid of Explosive Personality as well. I've been using went over to a Glaive for now, and I'd like to use it in future if possible. Also got myself Path of Least Resistance, which is nice. If it doesn't have Volt Shot, then who cares? But whatever. Let's head on down here by the frame and see what conversation we have next.
We have no time for pleasantries, Osiris. I bring grim tidings. My Techians have been trying to make sense of Xivu Arath's tactics. Her armies are legion, yet she commits minimal forces to battle.
Minimal forces? Every Wrathborn we cut down is replaced by 2 more.
She could replace them tenfold, so why does she show restraint? Her worm feeds on warfare. The more violent the act, the greater the power she draws from it.
Much like Savathun's worm fed on guile and deceit. Do you mean to say that...
This is not a war. It is a ritual. Her death singers weave their magic and prepare for a grand sacrifice.
If so, our strategy remains unchanged. Retake the war sets and eradicate the Wrathborn.
Just as Xivu Arath desires. The Warsats are immensely powerful. Their use would result in unparalleled destruction. She cares not which side is obliterated. Her worm will gorge itself on the carnage either way.
She would turn her armies into blood sacrifices. And the Warsats would be the blade.
Overwhelming force has proven to be the only effective tactic against the Hive. Without it, I do not know what to do.
Then I suggest you think of something, and quickly.
I will apprise your vanguard of these findings.
It seemed like a whole lot of nothing, except for, I guess, that Xivu Arath just doesn't care. I'm going to turn in a couple of things really quickly, but we need to meet with Zavala for an emergency meeting with the Vanguard. Okay. Let me just grab a couple more things here. Let's see. I'm going to grab Seraphic Deep Sight bonus, I suppose. I'd like to be able to get my hands on some Icolos weapons here at some point, but I don't know if that's going to be happening anytime soon. Let's head on over to the tower and get to Zavala's office real quick.
The Warsats are a means to an end. Xivu Arath will bask in the destruction they bring and open the Ascendant Plane above Earth, as she did on Tora Bottle. It does not matter who pulls the trigger. We must cease our efforts to restore the War Mind.
No. We've worked too long and too hard to stop now. Rasputin is our best shot at winning this war.
That is precisely my concern. He is a weapon made to be wielded.
He is more than a weapon. He's our ally. And he will act in humanity's best interest.
Are you certain? He has kept secrets in the past, acted without counsel or consensus.
So have you. Rasputin's made mistakes. But he's learned from them. The same as the rest of us.
Then I propose we aim not for total victory, but a stalemate. Allow Rasputin to prevent Xivu Arath from claiming her prize, and refrain from using it himself.
It's settled then. We hold the line.
I know there's been so much talky talk, so much dialogue, but this is just kind of how these seasons go towards the end, obviously, other than just doing lots of repeatable activities, which I know just is not the most interesting for your a Let's Play, even though it's what makes up the bulk of the gameplay.
I am a machine of war, built for a singular purpose: to destroy any and all threats to humanity. Clovis and I disagreed on what constituted such threats, but not on the means to the end. On Mars, I developed the escalation protocol to combat the Hive. Ever-increasing application of force in the face of rising opposition. Was I playing into Xivu Arath's hands even then? Has she always accounted for my methodologies? What purpose do I serve if my actions place humanity in danger? Am I even capable of developing a solution without mass destruction? This is a calculation I have never had to make. It will take time to run the necessary combat simulations. Follow the directions of the Vanguard in the interim. I will contact you if and when I have determined our next objective.
Let's take that. We got Should You Choose to Accept It Part 3. Going to grab that as well. I am going to be leaving you now, and all that remains is the final week. We're going to end this episode finally by taking a look at this radio station. I say finally because for me it's been about 45 minutes. For you guys it's probably 15 to 20 at most once all edited down. But let's end this episode by listening to this radio transmission, and then I will explain what we're going to be doing in the next episode.
Ikora was so bright, so full of promise. How she glowed. Like the light filled her. But it was her eyes that convinced me to take her as my apprentice.
What did you see in them?
Hunger. She was desperate to prove herself back then. I knew the feeling well.
And you know it again now?
When Ikora looks in my eyes, what do you think she sees?
Everything that she always has.
She pities me, Mara.
As you and I have pitied others. Those who hang on our every word. Your cultists, my people. Do not mistake Ikora's pity for disdain. If she pities you, it is out of love.
I have no love for the cult of Osiris.
No. Ask me what I see when I look into your eyes, Osiris.
I will not, but you'll tell me just the same.
I see a man who is afraid he'll never be able to live up to the expectations that other people have placed on him. A man so afraid to hurt or be hurt that he spent his very long, very accomplished life holding those same people at arm's length. This burden, this inheritance of guilt, it is Ikora's too.
I never wanted this for her.
As your mentors never wanted it for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next episode, we are not going to be continuing with More Than a Weapon. Instead, we are going to be jumping on into the final dungeon of the Witch Queen expansion, with one that I've been holding out for quite some time. I was going to do this a little bit earlier on in the season, but decided against it for various reasons. We're going to do this before, because with More Than a Weapon, there also comes a little bit of a grand finale after the fact, something that has happened with pretty much every final season up to this point. We got it with Season of Arrivals all the way back during Shadowkeep. We got another one with Season of the Lost right before right before Witch Queen came out, and then of course we now have this final one before Lightfall. So yeah, I would like to give us a little bit of a breather. Would like to take some time, go through this dungeon, a really good dungeon at that, a very interesting dungeon with a lot of interesting loot, even though I have never had any luck with it, and hopefully we come out on the other side Cannot promise if this one will be soloable. It may not be. I might have to do just the full thing with a fire team. We will see, but I will at least explain how it works as we go. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.